All right, welcome to the channel. I thank y'all for each and every one of you, and thank you for tuning in on today. All right, so today this is going to be one of those subjects that I hope that I would not have to share, but it is necessary. It is necessary for me to make yet another warning to our people, um, and hopefully those who have an ear to hear will hear, will search things out for themselves, and also share the information with others. You don't have to share this particular video, but share the accurate information with others, okay? And so I'm going to be specific in here. I'm going to name some names. Um, and, well, I'm not going to name one name. I did see a document. Let me just say this. I'm kind of skipping ahead, but I want you guys to stay tuned and listen to the entire share because it's important. All right, but I want to say because I was not able to prove the authenticity of one particular document, I have withheld it. But if I am able to do that, I will post it to my community page. So please check back and you will see that there if I'm able to prove that this is indeed an authentic document. All right, so today I want to talk to you about some violence that has occurred, resulting in at least two deaths so far, and how some diasporans, transatlantic diasporans, are involved, be it directly or indirectly. All right, now their actions, okay, have been named, have has been named. I didn't name it. I'm going to show you where their involvement in the community where this has occurred has been cited as a part of the reason why this has happened. It's not exclusively them. Let me say that clearly. It's not exclusively because of them. That community had our people taken time to research it or to reach out to those of us who do research and who do have experience in knowing how to look, what to look for in certain communities. It's not to beat you up and say, and blame the victims of these things, but it's to also say that sometimes we are to blame when we don't take the opportunity and the time to reach out to our brothers and sisters and seek their assistance, okay? Not just seeking people coming on, smiling in the camera, painting beautiful pictures of a beautiful life and a perfect life and everything is perfect. I will tell you, do not trust people who never tell you the truth. Okay, who do not, and you won't know that they don't tell you the truth. I'll tell you a sign where they're not telling you the truth. When they only give you good stories and they don't show you the bad or they downplay the bad, that's a sign, okay? And particularly if they have an interest in it, meaning that they have something to gain financially by not telling you the whole truth, or they have something to lose financially because perhaps they have invested in projects and they don't want to lose the money that they have invested in those projects. It's not always for them to gain, but for them not to lose, okay? And so don't trust that. So I'm going to try to wrap this initial part up, but I want to tell you guys that if people do not show you both sides of the coin and around the edges, you need to be very, very careful of them. If they downplay it, if they say it's negative talk, if they, just kind of criticize those who bring their true life experiences, then you really need to look at them. Sometimes it's just a matter of them just being so anxious or wanting things to work out perfectly because they've invested everything into a particular place or a particular project. All right, so I want to talk to you guys today about the violence that led to death of two people in the eastern region. This particular subject is very it's a touching one to me because I know someone who's very close to me. I've known them since they were a kid. I met them at an orphanage and they pretty much became as one of my sons, okay? They are from that region. As far as their family, but they were raised in an orphanage. And I'm going to be limited in the details because I don't want to identify them and I don't want them to, their family to be attacked because of this. But I'll just say this, that they were, in our opinion, based on all the evidence, murdered poison because they went back and tried to claim the land that belonged to them after they left the orphanage. And they wanted that land that was their father's land, their mother's land, for themselves and their sisters. Okay? And so it's very, 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 it's a very sad story, and nothing was done. Nothing was done. Okay? And so when I see these type of stories over land, I want you guys to know that they are real. And you are in danger in many places. And if you see any signs of people wanting to attack you, people who are really strongly against you holding on to land or having land, you need to let it go. Okay? This is not a place to mess around with, especially when it comes to land issues. Okay? Count your losses, move you and your family out of that place. Okay? If you have to deal with it later with a lawyer if you have to. But I wouldn't want to fight to be into a community that has a lot of land violence. And so the subject that I'm bringing to you today is on an issue that has occurred in an area called, and if I get this wrong, Ayensuano, Ayensuano, okay, in that district. Now, there is a diaspora who is from the UK who was also selling land. Actually, there's more than one in that particular area. And others are saying that this is the area, this is the land that he had, this is what he's promoting. I don't know if this is the particular land, but I will show you from their own video, their own plat that displays this area. Okay, but first let me give you information about what's going on. And for those of you who are still hanging in here, I appreciate you. All right, so it says here, a violent shootout between Landguards and local youth in Coaltar, located in the Ayensuano district of the eastern region, has resulted in the death of one person and left several others in critical condition. Actually, 2 people have died so far. The incident, which took place on January 16, 2025, has left residents in shock, with eyewitnesses recounting the heightened tensions in the community prior to the violence. Please continue to listen because I'm going to give you information beyond reading this article. According to the 3news.com, the violence erupted just after a regular council meeting held by Coaltar Chief Barama, and last name is Sadu, and he's supposed to be the second. All right. The meeting, which involved settling disputes and addressing community issues, concluded without incident. However, as members of the council were leaving the place, they encountered a group of angry youth who were protesting a controversial land deal. All right, so they were protesting a controversial land deal. Now, this area is known for violence not only concerning land, but it's known for violence concerning the EC, which is electoral, like our equivalent in America of the electoral college. But they're different electoral offices they set on fire. They're blaming different people. Last time I heard, it wasn't sure who did what. All right, but the offices were set on fire. They have a history of land disputes and chieftaincy dispute. This area is a hotbed for this kind of stuff. Chief fights, political fights, sand weaning, what we call sand mining in the U.S. This is a regular thing in this particular area, okay? And so this area is where these diasporas have purchased land, all right? And so there are people who are selling, and then this article right here is going to name the country where the people are from, okay? Remember, it's the article that's naming it. All right, so but it was you who were protesting a controversial land deal. One of the elders present explained, we had just finished a council meeting and were on our way out when we encountered the angry youth. We have told the farmers we are ready to compensate them for any lands taken for the developers, but they have refused to listen. The youth, armed with machetes and barricading a section of the road with tires and wood, proceeded to vandalize the chief's palace. Their protest was aimed at resisting the chief and the traditional council's decision to offer agricultural lands to developers from Jamaica. Okay, so this is this particular incident, in their own words, states that their protest was against a decision by the traditional council to offer agricultural lands to developers from Jamaica. So please know, this is not just this violence in this community. Let me be very clear, is not just based on these Jamaicans. All right, but this was a big part of it. All right, other articles state that because of the sand weaning or sand mining, meaning sand mining, they take sand from off of people's land and they go sell it to construction sites. They sell it to roads developers. They sell it to people making building blocks. Just stealing people's sand off of their land and selling it. Okay, and then in addition, there's a big problem with galamsey in that area. See, all of this could be found out if our people would connect with people who know what to look for. Who know what to look for. If you haven't been to Ghana, you wouldn't know what to look for. And for those of you who want to know my history with Ghana, I have had more than, I stopped counting now, I think 20, coming up on 22 or 23 years in Ghana. Okay, something like that. All right, and we've lived back and forth, but I have lived in Ghana as well. So I've learned a lot. And not only myself, but a lot of people have learned a lot. But our people, because we have to learn to be so independent in the West, sometimes we come with that same independent mindset of, I can do it. I can do it. Oh, no problem. And they just learn just a few things, and then they take off running with it, and then they lead others behind them. Okay? So this is the situation in this area. You have a bunch of diasporans who have purchased land in this area from someone, and I heard the video that was presented. I'm going to show you the video, right? One particular person, like I said, there's a document that's supposed to be released by a government that names these people, right? Because I personally can't verify if that document is an authentic document. Because I can't verify that that document is an authentic document, then I will not present it yet. But if I do, I will post it on my community page. Okay, but this person, I'm going to let him identify himself, is one of the people named in this particular case. Okay, and I'll let him introduce himself. Many of you may recognize him, but I will let him introduce himself. Now, this right here is the name of their channel, and he will introduce himself. Give me just a second.
Not too much integrity involved. I wouldn't go as far to call anybody scammers, but there definitely are people that scam out here in Ghana when it comes to land or anything. That you can get involved with in Ghana. Ghana is a developing country. Although it's developing rapidly and very fast, it's a developing country. And people are hungry and people hustle, and that's just the way it goes. And you have to learn how to navigate that when you get here. Learn how to navigate Ghana in a way that you don't get burnt. We came here, we got burnt, but now we have learned how to navigate, and we wanted to be exactly what we are, or what we needed, should I say. We wanted to be what we needed when we came here, and it wasn't available.
Okay, I want to stop it right there, because whenever I hear people say this, quite a few people say this, especially those who are selling and promoting land. Quite a few of them say they want to be what was not available to them. And I will have to say that is not true. Okay, you may not have looked enough, or maybe you found people but they just weren't your speed, or they just weren't your style, or they just weren't people that you feel comfortable with, and I get that. Okay, but if you keep looking, you're going to find people who are out there giving you information. You're not out there for personalities, or are you? But I think that's where a lot of people get caught. They get caught up in personalities. They get caught up in people coming and putting a camera in their face every day, and and they get caught up in that whole pseudo personality that's put out there, because a lot of times it is pseudo personality. All right, I've done videos in the past on other channels, and I know you can get caught up in just the camera being on. And so that's why, one of the reasons why I turned it off, because I realized that I was spending a lot of time worrying about things like hair and did I have this on the last time and all this other stuff, things that don't even matter. What matters is getting the message out. Okay, but to say that this information was not out there, that's not so. There are people who have been there here much longer than myself, all right, and who have a wealth of information. Okay, right now I'm listening to a series by Mama Imakas, who came to Ghana at 50 years old. She stayed here for 30 something years now. She's in Rwanda. She's written a book on how, coming to Africa isn't easy, but it is worth it. If we would just take the time and respect one another enough to listen, to invest in that consultation. All right, find someone that you can trust. Have your questions prepared ahead of time. All right, it's not about getting money from someone. I have given lots of advice and have not taken any penny from anyone, and I can show proof of everyone that I've sent information to. I'm no longer doing that. I'm no longer doing that. Those days were over. I advertised the price, but I never charged them. You never heard anything about that, did you? And neither have you heard anything bad. See, people only come to complain about things when things don't work out. But when someone does something good for them, they don't do videos on those things, right? But it's important for us to seek help from one another so that we can learn from one another's experiences. So to say that there wasn't anyone out there, no. Just say there wasn't anyone that you wanted to learn from. And this is not a personal attack against him. I don't know him. All right? I've seen his video, and this particular video I was listening to about 6 months ago when it was released, and I stopped because I realized the documents were not accurate. And so I just stopped and moved on. I didn't even give it a thumbs down. I just said people better know what they're doing. Another one, I think I did see another video of his when they were walking deep in the woods. I said, do these people know they're gonna be responsible for bringing this road? This is a mile at least, if not two. All right. Let me continue on. Let him talk some more.
And that's, somebody to show us the ropes, to help us, really. But anyway, we kind of done it on our own with the help of my business partner, Kwame. And, since then, I think our track record speaks for itself. Like I said, 3 estates, 50 acre, 60 acre, and 100 acre. The 50 acre is complete, even though we still have a few, let me just have a look. We still have a few plots remaining in Yehuda village, or Judah village if you like. We have a few plots remaining there. I believe we've got about 10 plots remaining in Yehuda village. I'll probably put the map up now, so all the purple spots are the available plots. And as you can see, there's a river running through the middle. You can see that symbol.
Okay, so I'm going to cut this particular portion straight to the section that I want to see. I want to show you. And I hope that what I just previously shared actually was recorded. Okay, I hope it was. But basically what he's describing is three different communities. Okay, one dedicated solely for Israelites. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because I don't want us to be caught up in this. Okay, I don't want us to be caught up in this, in the name of the Most High, to be tarnished in the midst of this. Okay, but once again, it's not personal. It's about getting the truth out there. Okay, and then another village where I think it was like a mixture. He would prefer people, he said, that were of faith, and then also another one where it's open to those who are secular, because he said he had a lot of people who were coming to him who said that they were in the faith, but he knew that they weren't really in the faith according to him. All right, but just wanted land, so he just created a third community. All right, now I'm going to let him speak, but what I want to show you is the actual document itself.
Which is really part of Yehuda, but just a bigger section. part of Ruby, or should I say Ruby is part of Freedom. So Freedom City has Ruby Village inside, and then Yehuda Village is separate, maybe about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes down the road from there.
Okay, so what I wanted to show you guys is this actual document right here. The document itself names the town, the district, okay, which is the district in question, which is the district where that latest attack occurred, all right? So you see, Ayensuano, Ayensuano. The locality is Kraboa Coaltar, and it's Ayensuano, and it's in the eastern region. And this is the third tract of land that he is speaking of. Okay, so the reason for me sharing this with you is to confirm that this person, who is of Jamaican heritage, is in that particular district, and by his own words, selling land in that particular district. He also names a person who is his business partner. Okay, now the document that I saw that I cannot confirm is authentic names this person and also the person that he names as his business partner, which is Kwame. All right, now, and the document gives the Kwame's last name. Until I am able to authenticate it, I will not post it. Okay, but if I can authenticate it, I will post it. All right, now I am mentioning it because it's out there. All right, but I'm able to authenticate by his own video that this is a tract of land that he is selling from in this same district. Okay, and his name, he stated his name in the opening statement, and he also, if I skip that by accident, he states it in this video. You can go back and listen to it yourself. It names that particular name of the person, and the other person that he mentions as his partner, it gives their first and their last name. So this, once again, is not about attacking them. It's about getting information out to people. Look, we have to do our own due diligence. Do I think he set out to do this? I don't know him. All right. Do I think he set out to get involved with the chief, who's pretty much now throwing him under the bus? Now, the latest concerning that particular chief, let me get that information out, is that they have destooled him. But then there's another group that is protesting to get him back. All right. So he was destooled in the manner where, let me show you where they actually carried out the destooling ceremony. This is a group right here that says he cannot be destooled. All right. This is him. All right, and this group is standing by him saying that he cannot be destooled. But there was an actual destooling ceremony that took place where they destooled him using, I think it's a sheep. They slaughtered a sheep. They poured libation. This is him. All right, this is the chief that is named. They poured libation, and they took off his sandals, which is a sign of being destooled. Right? And so the other group came and said, no, this is modern times. We can't do this. I don't understand, but I'm out of this. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Right? But if we're supposed to be traditionalists, I think that they are responsible for continuing the tradition. Right? But according to those who oppose him being destooled, and the reason why they say they wanted to destool him is because they said that he was involved in having Landguards come and attack the protesters. And as a result, 2 people died, one of the Landguards and one of the protesters. Okay, unfortunately, this is what happens. This person wrote a letter. Apparently, it's out there, but I cannot authenticate it, so I will not post it here. But it has, it's supposed to be an official letterhead stating, renouncing the sale of land by certain persons. For me reading it, it sounds like he's speaking about any future lands, and he's speaking about Stool land exclusively. I don't know, and I don't care about whether Stool family or what have you. I am here to say to our people, do not purchase land in this area. This area not only has land issues, it has land sand weaning issues, meaning at any time they can show up and start digging on your land and taking your sand and soil and selling it and attacking you with land guards. Land guards are not there to protect you. Land guards are people who attack you. If you do not pay, if you do not let them have their way, if there's a land dispute of any kind, if somebody makes a claim on the land, they send their thugs to rough you up or to get money from you, even for land that you've already paid for. All right. This is something else I have shared on, okay, in the past. But our people have to, and not only myself, okay, there are others who are out there telling you this stuff. But people don't tend to like to listen to those shares. They tend to flock to personalities, all right, who even when they address problems, they're making it seem like the problems can be easily resolved. And that's not the case, all right? And so the latest that I have seen, I'm not sure if this is the order of things, is that they are doing an official destooling of this particular chief, all right? And in the video that I showed you, the person who sold the land states that he has sold, at the time of this recording, which was 6 months ago, he stated that he had 300 clients. Now, please know, some of them, by his own words in other videos, stated that they purchased several plots, some acres, more than 1 acre. And I heard him in another video mention the price. I can't remember the exact price. I'm not pocket watching, but I know it was over 1,000 and something. So that's what got my attention, and particularly for that particular area out there of absolutely undeveloped land, way on the inside. Okay. I said, wow. All right. And so listen, guys. And I think he said that he would have charged more. Once again, this isn't personal, so I hope people don't get offended and make it personal, because then I'm gonna have to come and give some other information. And I don't do YouTube beefs, okay? I'm out here to present information, and not just other information, just, say some other things that is not necessary. In fact, I probably won't do that. Let me reel myself back in, all right? But my point is to put the truth out there, to warn you guys once again, and not only concerning these land issues. Those of you who are selling land and refuse to tell people about the toxicity of Ghana's water, about the lead, about the mercury, about the arsenic, about the cyanide, those people's lives and blood will be upon your hands, okay? You need to warn them, for their sake and for their generation's sake. And it doesn't mean that they shouldn't buy land, all right? But they need to have some plans, because right now Ghana's land water company is working. We're working with what, 40% water. 40% of the water that comes through the dam is drinkable. The rest is not. And this is decreasing. They expect a 10% decrease for the next 8 years. Every 2 years, they expect it to reduce by 10%. Meaning, in 8 years, Ghana will be importing water if something is not done. Many of the rivers are destroyed, not just contaminated. I mean destroyed. with harmful chemicals, and people are selling lands that are directly in those regions, directly in those river lines, and it's impacting the entire country. That's why I always say, guys, don't put all your money in Ghana. Don't put all your money in any country. Thank y'all for the time that you have been here and that you are here, right? But be prepared to leave. First of all, if you are Israel, you know that if not you, the generations that follow you will be leaving from here. We'll be moving forward and things are happening quickly. But be prepared for the cost of, some say boreholes. Okay, dig a borehole, but know that the soil can get contaminated. Know that the aquifers under the earth are also contaminated. And those of you who are selling lithium, land near lithium plants, y'all punish you because you know the dangers. You know the dangers. You know the dangers. And you're still doing it. There's a lot to be said. I'm going to wrap this one up. But I don't want to always have to come on here and just be sounding like I'm scolding people. But this is how the Most High uses me to warn people, to tell you the wonderful news. I tell you a lot of good things if you just listen. But I'm also here to tell you the good news to prepare yourself. That's good news. To know what's going on is great news. And so this is my job. I've done it. I'm not going to go beyond that. I don't have any grudge against anybody. But if you are intentionally deceiving y'all's people, oh, I have plenty against you because you're against Yah and against his people. All right? If you are selling land that's not registered, if you're buying land whether Stool, through a developer or someone who is working with the chief or working with the family, if they have not registered that land, leave it alone. If they have not registered that land, and an indenture is not registration. An indenture means nothing. It's a glorified IOU. You can use it for toilet paper. If it's not registered, which most chieftaincy land is not registered, ask the chief to register the land. If he cannot afford the land to be registered, then purchase the land in sections that you can afford and buy and register that land, and then present that land to your people, or work with companies that have registered the land. And all of this information can be found out if you would work with your brothers and sisters. But because so many of us are so independent, and this is beyond Ghana. I'm talking about for Tanzania. There are people, my sister there, who is warning people, all right, about issues of land in Tanzania. There are people who are warning you in the Gambia. There are people who are warning you in Nigeria, who are giving you good information in various places. But will you take the time to listen to them? Or are we seeking personalities? Or are you seeking for me to come on and tell you all my business and everything I'm going through? I'm never going to do that, okay? I'm not. But I will feed you with knowledge. And prayerfully, the Holy Spirit will give you good understanding. All right? I thank y'all for your lives. I appreciate you. And wisdom. All right? And wisdom. We all need it. And so I thank y'all for your lives. And let's pray for each and every one of us. And once again, if you are in that area, leave that area. I would even advise Daniel and his family to get out of that area. Okay? His partner to leave. But there is accountability even if you leave. Because if you at the point where you're selling land, you should know certain things. All right? But some people land in this country, they just off the plane, they already agents. They already taken investors. Sit yourself down. Seriously, sit yourself down and learn something. And that could take years. It could take years. So, y'all bless you all. I love you. Truly love you. All right. That's the sign. That's the sign that the scripture says that we are his true disciples. It's not because we are buying land from each other and living next to each other and partying with each other. No, is that we have love one toward another. And love can tell you the truth. It's going to tell you the truth. In love. All right? Even if it has to rebuke you, it's going to tell you the truth. In love. Y'all bless you all. Shalom.